Okay guys, today I'm going to be doing my first vlog, and it's going to be baking bread. I'm not really good at it, but I'm going to give it a try. I've done it a few times, so this is my easiest white bread recipe. Okay, so first thing you've got to do is you've got to get yeast, active dry yeast, salt, custard sugar, and flour. Yourself a cup. Okay, and I think what we need to do is we first need to activate the yeast. Yeast is very important. And teaspoon, take about 2 teaspoons of yeast. 1, 2. Alright. Once you open it, you put it back in the fridge. And you need to add a little bit of water. Let me just go and get a little bit of water. Okay, once you've got that, give it a little bit of a stir. Now, it's room temperature, so you don't have to, people say put warm water. I tried a few times warm water, but it could be dangerous because sometimes when I put warm water, it kills off the yeast straight away. So basically, the yeast, you're going to make it, well, leave it there for about 5 minutes, and it will bubble. Okay, so we let it sit for a while. Alright, next, while the yeast sits there, I'm just going to take the flour and we're going to make it a bit messy. Alright, it's fine because this whole table, we're going to use it for the kneading part later on, so it's fine. It's going to be flour all over. That's pretty much the best part. So it's going to get 4 cups in. So 1, 2, you need to get a new cup. Let's cut this a bit. Or rather, this jar is a bit too small. 3, 4. Okay, just about there. You can leave it here for a while. Next, I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. And 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Depending on whether you like it to be a bit salty, but it's fine. Ingredient up. And this is pretty much just to mix it up so that it's easier once you pour in the yeast. Normally, I will just leave the yeast there for a while. Actually, some people say leave it for 10 minutes. This is instant dry yeast, so it's pretty much activated already. So you don't have to wait too long. Now, we'll add in the yeast, and then we will add in another bowl of water as well. It's about 1 to 2 . So we're going to pour 1 first, then we'll probably pour 1.5, 2, depending on the dough. Okay. As you pour in, just give it a stir. pour it slowly and stir it in. This is a bit like making dough for bread. So you just add it in once it gets a bit sticky, right? Just stir it. Normally 1 to 1 is not enough. You probably need another bowl. But I'm very careful with my second bowl of water. I don't want it to be too mushy or too watery. But it's got to be moist. If it's too dry, then your dough will be very dry. It becomes like a biscuit. Second bowl, pour it slowly. Normally I'm very careful with my second. Of course it's always it's not as bad because you can always add in the flour, but I'm careful just to not to overdo it, especially now. So you will find that your dough becomes sticky and it will run around with your spoon. Okay, a bit more. Okay, this is not enough. Okay, this is not enough. I'll add in a little bit more, and then you'll see that it will just get a bit more sticky, and then we can start the kneading. Well, this recipe is I just got it off the net. I've been trying a few times. I think the secret to bread making isn't so much the kneading. I think the kneading just to mix the and activate the yeast. But I think the secret to bread making is really the resting, where we will knead and then we will let it rest. There will be 2 rests that we're going to be doing, each for about an hour. Okay, now, oh, this feels good. Okay, good. It doesn't feel overly too much. Doesn't feel overly too much water. It's now looking more like a dough, and it's quite sticky already. Some recipes you can use butter. You can also put in egg. I'm just trying this with just plain white bread without butter and without egg. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it's pretty much ready for. Can I put a bit more water? I think it should be fine. Put it aside. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pour out a little bit of just flour your tabletop. Okay, should be fine. And now I'm going to transfer this out into the tabletop, and we're going to start kneading. Put this aside. Okay, so there's pretty much a technique. You've got to pull it in and push it out. Okay, so put a flour in, knead out, put it in, knead out. Okay, do a few minutes. I'm quite wary about putting too much flour. I've done a few times where if it's my hands get sticky, I put flour. It becomes, yeah. The more you put flour, the less sticky it becomes. But I find that stickiness is a very important part of the bread. You know, that you will get it soft when you bake it. So don't worry about the stickiness part of it. Okay, a few times more. A few more times. put it in. Okay, so now, while it sits for a while, I'm just going to wash this and I'm going to come back and put it in and we're going to cover it. Wash this so it's a little bit clean now, and I'm going to put some olive oil on it. Okay, a little bit of olive oil. And just going to scrape it a little bit. Okay, the use of the olive oil is so that when you put it in, you bathe it. You bathe the dough with the oil all over first. This is for the first rising. And the rationale is that once you do that, when you bake, it becomes crisp in the top. Right. Now, a lot of different recipes will tell you to put cloth. I use the cloth for the second rising. The first rising, cover it with a plastic bag, and we're going to keep this for 1 hour. Okay. While I was waiting for the first rice, I took 2 bread containers. I put some vegetable shortening. Alright, you can put butter or olive oil, same thing. Lace it with that. Put it on standby. The dough has risen double in size. You can look at it. Okay, the dough has risen. And we're going to do a second kneading before we actually break them into the containers. But you've got to punch it. So first thing you're going to do is punch it. Release the air. Okay. Put a bit more. Okay, take it out. And we're going to knead it a bit more. Put it here. Knead it a bit more. And put it in the ball. Fold it in. Fold it in. Okay, you're going to break it, cut it to half. It becomes smoother. Alright, so you just fold it in, make it like a bun. You can add a bit more flour. You can add a bit more flour, it's fine, doesn't matter, because you're just lacing it. Alright, the other one, a bit more flour as well. It's that every time when you knead it, it becomes smoother.